Ankara have killed at least 86 people and injured 186, according to officials. The blasts took place near the city's central train station as people gathered for a march organized by leftist groups. Turkey's president condemned the attacks as terrorist acts. Government officials are investigating reports that a suicide bomber was behind at least one of the explosions. Toward the Kurds. The pro-Kurdish HDP party was among those attending the rally, which was demanding an end to the violence between the Kurdish separatist PKK militants and the Turkish government. The party said in a statement that it believes its members were the main target of the bombings. The leader of the HDP has blamed the state for the attack, which he called a huge massacre, and cancelled all election rallies. Turkey is holding a rerun of June's inconclusive parliamentary elections on November 1. Later on Saturday, the PKK called on its fighters to halt its guerrilla activities in Turkey unless attacked first, according to reports on a news site close to the group. The HDP was among those joining Saturday's rally for peace and democracy called for by the Confederation of Trades Unions, which was due to start at 12 o'clock local time. The two explosions happened shortly after 10 o'clock as crowds gathered ahead of their rally. Amateur video footage showed a group of young people holding hands and singing before the first blast. The HDP tweeted that police attacked people carrying the injured away. Opposition MP Musa Kam tweeted a photo of a ball bearing he says he found at the scene. Analysis. Mark Lowen, BBC News, Istanbul. After the ceasefire between the PKK and the Turkish state broke down in July, Turkey has spiraled into tit-for-tat attacks between the two sides, and tension between Kurds and Turkish nationalists has soared. Amidst the frenzy of a repeat election in November, it was expected that something dangerous was imminent. The pro-Kurdish HDP party has blamed the state. That is undoubtedly a reference to the so-called deep state often talked about here, the shady mix of nationalist forces either colluding with or supporting the government in power. The West's vital ally in the Middle East is now facing a perfect storm: deep political polarization, the bubble of economic success on the brink of bursting, the resumption of violence with the PKK, the threat from Islamic State, and 2 million Syrian refugees and counting. The tragedy in Ankara is a sign of the dark times Turkey is now facing. Bülent Demir, who was at their rally, told the BBC that the police used tear gas as soon as the bomb went off and would not let ambulances through. Local resident Emre said he heard 2 separate explosions and saw a number of dead bodies. Angry people tried to attack police cars, he told the BBC. An HDP rally in the city of Diyarbakir was bombed in June, ahead of general elections in which the party entered parliament for the first time. The BBC's Mark Lowen in Istanbul says it was feared that another similar attack was imminent, as voters prepare to go to the polls once more. In July, the suicide bombing by suspected Islamic State militants on a gathering of socialist youth activists in the town of Suryuk on the Syrian border killed at least 30 people. A ceasefire between the Kurdish militant group the PKK and Turkey's government later broke down,